Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, coming to you from the floor of my closet, I thought it would be fun to go through with you guys my professional makeup kit. These are the kits that I take with me if I'm doing makeup for a wedding, for a photo shoot, for prom, all the things that would require me to travel with all of my makeup. So, a week ago, I did some makeup for a photo shoot. I think I mentioned to you guys in a previous video, maybe it was a get ready with me, something like that. My husband and his brother own a Mac tool truck franchise and they do calendars. So this year they asked me to do the makeup for the photo shoot. My friend Jamie did the hair. She's Jamie Hair, I'm Jamie Nails. So we actually did it at her salon. There's not quite enough room in my salon to have that many people all at once. So we went over to her salon, we did a whole bunch of hair and makeup and nails and all the things to beautify everybody for the shoot. So I will include some like clips of that, of just me working and stuff at the end of this video. I'll do like a little montage. But I thought it might be interesting to some of you to see what I pack in my kit, how I pack my kit. It's definitely come a long way in the last couple years in terms of what I have, how much I have, thanks to BoxyCharm mostly. And I'm going to the gym after this, so if you're wondering why I look like that, that's why. So let's dive into the kits. I've got two of them here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Can you guys see? Okay, so I'm doing my best. I can't really I'm hoping that this is going to be all in frame, but I'm going to go through sort of each section. I certainly try not to bring all of my makeup when I'm traveling to do makeup for whatever the occasion or event is. However, with this particular shoot, I didn't have a lot of information in terms of what the outfits were going to be, what the lighting was going to be like. I had no idea what the girls looked like, so I had no sort of point of reference in terms of skin tone, skin color, you know, even how old they were. I assumed they were going to be young. They were young and beautiful. So that was obviously made it really easy, but so I kind of overpacked more than I normally would because I just wasn't really sure what I was going to need. So this is the first kit. So up top here, and a lot of this stuff didn't get used, but I was sort of like I'd rather have it and not need it than want it and not have it. So I had packed, I wasn't sure if they were doing a lot of outdoor shoots and stuff, so I thought it would be fun if I had some body highlights. So I've got the Cover FX glitter drops. I've got this rose gold highlight that's nice on the shoulders. Didn't end up using any of that because they were changing outfits quite frequently, so I didn't want them to end up with like glitter all over their clothes. Right here I've got just a few like foil packs of moisturizer. I try to keep something like this on hand because you don't know what their skin type is going to be. You don't know if they're going to be dry. You don't know if they're going to have washed their face that day. Like, you don't know what people are coming in with. So I bring that, and I also bring a bottle of micellar water just in case. And what I did when they all arrived was I had them all take one of these gauze squares and the micellar water and just give their face like a quick kind of once over with that, and then I had them all put on a little bit of moisturizer just to kind of prep the skin. And then over here I brought three of my Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. I just brought like the white, the gold, and the rose gold. And then I've got a gel liner here. This is the e.l.f. one. And then right here in this section is all the powders. So I've got three sort of tones of powders. I've got a light, a medium, and a dark, I guess. And then I've got a loose, those are the TG pressed powders. And then I've got the Pretty Vulgar, the Powder Room loose powder here in case I wanted to do any baking or anything like that. I did use this under everyone's eyes, worked great. And then on this side of the top section, and this little square, I've sort of got my tools. So I've got a little pair of scissors. I have literally like 8 sharpeners. They were teasing me. They're like, why do you have so many of these? I was like, I don't know. I always lose one, so I just grabbed like a fistful of them and put them here. And a pair of tweezers. Here I've got concealers, so I've got a few different like formulas and colors and tones and sort of stuff like that. So I've got the Too Faced Born This Way, the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I'm obsessed with this. I picked this up for the shoot because I was worried. This one's a little bit, this is the Pure Disappearing Act. This one's a little bit more pinky toned. This one's a little bit more yellowy toned. So this one is quite neutral. So I thought if I had all three tones, then I can always mix and match. And then I've got just a light and a medium concealer there. And that worked well. I ended up only using these two. That was all I needed. They all had a very similar skin tone, so that made it very easy. And then here I've got brows. So I've got two. There's a brunette and a blonde. There's like a powder on one side and a pomade on the other. And then I've got another, like a pomade thing there. And then my lash glue. And then down here in this little section, I had a lot of my disposables. So I have a package of mascara wands, a package of like doe foot lip gloss applicators, more lip gloss applicators, some little eyeshadow applicators. I always keep lots of disposables on hand because when you're doing, I had 4 girls to do. I was the only one doing makeup and I had 4 girls to do and everybody was waiting on me. So you don't want to be like washing things in between, and I didn't want to bring like multiple mascaras or anything like that. So I just bring disposables, throw out the little wands when I'm done. And then on this section down here, I've got, I'm not going to pull everything out because it's going to take forever. But down here I had my mascara, lip liners, eyeliners, had some more of these little, they're like the little brush type disposable ones. I also have brow pencils in there, basically like various pencils and mascara, things like that. Then down here in this bottom section, I'll pull a few of these things out. So I always bring Q-tips for cleaning up messes, and I like these. They're like rounded on one end and pointed. I don't know if you guys can see that. Pointed on the other. These are great for just cleaning up if you're doing eye makeup, stuff like that, cleaning up along the lip line. I don't use beauty blenders when I'm doing makeup applications for a professional application, if that makes sense. It's not sanitary. I don't do it. If I am only doing 1 or 2 girls, I might pick up some, not beauty blenders, but like beauty sponges and just give it to the girl when we're done. But normally what I take is like the disposable wedges. So I'll apply the foundation with like a brush and then I'll just tap over top with a sponge just to soften everything. I always bring some 4x4 gauze squares. And then I had a whole lot of eyelashes, and all I have left is the Ardell. These are just the little like individual trios. So I brought those with me, didn't use them, and I also had some really like wild ones that I had gotten online. I used these on one girl. She had quite large eyes, so we gave her kind of a smoky, like bronzed smoky eye with like a really big lash. It was beautiful. Everybody else, especially there was a couple of fair girls, like you don't want to use crazy lashes. Anyways, we just wanted it to look like a nice classy photo shoot. So I had picked up mostly like the Ardell. I had some Demi Wispies and I think just the Wispies and the Demi Wispies was what I had, and I ended up using those on pretty much everybody else. I already showed you guys that I brought my Nivea Micellar with me. And then down here in the bottom, I've got foundations, primers, setting spray. So I brought the Bodyography Pro Ready Set Go makeup setting spray. This works for everybody. It's very similar to the Urban Decay All Nighter. So I brought that with me. I also bought my Bodyography makeup brush cleaner. So if I had a brush that I wanted to use, but I had used it on someone else, I just spray some of this on the brush or on this and just kind of wipe it off to sanitize it. I brought another gel liner. I just brought the Pretty Vulgar. This is the ink. It's called. It's just a black gel liner. I don't bring liquid liners when I'm doing makeup on others because there's no way to clean it. So I'll usually bring a couple of different pots of gel liners and some brushes that I can clean. And then I brought 3 primers with me. Again, I wasn't sure what everyone's skin type was going to be. I brought the No Poreblem primer from Touch in Sol. I also brought their Prime Essence. I did use this on a couple of people, and I brought the Cover FX blurring primer, and I used that on most of them. And then in the bottom here, I've got foundations, so just various foundations, you know, in varying colors, and they're mostly TJ. I've got a MAC one in here, I've got an Almay one in here, and I've got an e.l.f. one in there. So I had all my bases covered in terms of foundations, and I ended up using like 2. Like everybody had a very similar skin tone, so I ended up only needing to bring 2, but I was well prepared, and that is the most important thing. One of the reasons I wanted to do this today was because I wanted to put all my stuff away. Because some of this is stuff that I use regularly, and I'm like, where's all my makeup at? Oh, it's in this kit. So that was kit number 1. And this is kit number 2. My dear friend Kate gave me this kit. I think she figured I would keep one and get rid of the other. But I kept both. And actually, this was probably the most organized I've ever felt doing that many girls all at once. So this one kind of pulls out like that, which is really nice. So up top here, I have all my lippies. So I brought a lot of the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink liquid lips. I brought those because I wasn't sure. Again, I just wasn't sure. I didn't know what colors we were going to need. I didn't know what colors they were going to be wearing. I didn't know what they were going to look like. And then I brought quite a few of my Smashbox just cream lipsticks, as well as a few of the e.l.f. cream lipsticks. And those are what I ended up using, was more the cream lipsticks. So when they came in, I always like to kind of ask people, even though it's for a photo shoot, so it's not really about what they want, but I always feel like it translates on camera if people are comfortable in what they're wearing, in the way that they look, and so on. So I do always ask, like, what do you normally wear? And most of them said, like, they don't wear lipstick, or they just wear, like, a lip gloss. So I decided, instead of going, like, full liquid lip, and everybody's like, my lips are so sticky, or they're so dry, or whatever, I just used, like, a cream lipstick on most of them, and then I had brought a couple of glosses. So I brought the Tarteist Lip Paint in Instafamous, and I brought the e.l.f. Plumping Lip Gloss in Champagne Glam, and those worked well. So I either did like a soft pink lip, or a nude lip, or, you know, just like a rosy business like that. And that seemed to work really well. Everybody seemed very comfortable with that. On the second 2 tiers, can you guys see? On the second 2 tiers are all my brushes. So what I had done was, when I got there, I kind of put everything like down in one, and then as I used brushes, I put them up here, so then I would know which ones need to be cleaned, which ones haven't been used, so on and so forth, because I cleaned all my brushes before I went. And then down in this bottom section, I brought all the palettes. So it's so funny because, again, I overpacked. I had no idea. I didn't know what people were going to look like. I was so nervous. I'm always scared to not have the right thing, because I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I've been doing this 14 years, but I really mostly used for eyes the Violet Voss. This is the Holy Grail palette. I used this on just about everybody. We did a lot of neutral looks because there was going to be a lot of outfit changes. I didn't want to put them in like a red lip winged liner and have them end up in like a pink outfit later or something like that. So I kind of went like bronzy, neutral, a couple of the really fair, like blonde hair, fair skin, blue-eyed girls. We did more of these sort of pinky, rose gold type colors. It was really beautiful. I literally could have just brought this for eyeshadows, but I brought this, and I brought the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette because I thought if I wanted some cool toned neutrals, I've got some of those in there. I had brought the Pure Festival palette because I thought I might want some of these like warmer, almost more mustardy kind of tones. I brought the e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette. Like, I really went overboard. I brought way too many palettes. I also brought the Alamar palette. And lastly, for shadows, I brought the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette because I thought if I did want to add a pop of color, this had a lot of different options in it. And then I brought a variety of face palettes.
So I had brought my Smashbox, this is my, what is this called? I had brought my Smashbox contour palette. This was great. I'm glad that I brought this because like I would say half of the girls were very fair. This is a really nice option, so I brought that, and I also had brought my Park Avenue Princess palette, and I did use that, so I was happy to have that. I feel like I used more of a variety in my face palettes than I did in the eyeshadow palettes. I brought the Tarteist Pro Glow palette. I brought the Pure Sculptor palette because I wasn't sure about skin tones, and there's some dark bronzers in there. So I did bring that, but I didn't need it. And then I also brought the Cover FX Perfector Face palette. And then I also brought the Alamar blush trio. So I had lots of options, and in terms of face palettes, I used most of them. I think the only one that I didn't use was the Pure Sculptor palette and the Cover FX one. Everything else I used. So I know it seems like a lot, but you gotta go prepared when you're doing an event like that, especially when you don't have all the information. Sometimes that's the way. You have to just kind of go prepared for everything. I hope you guys found this interesting. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. I will include now at the end a little montage of me working on the girls. They did give me permission to include those photos in the end of this video and also on my socials. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!